Hello, everyone. This is Candy Wyndon. We are about to start to talk about the recruiting strategies for today's work. So let me share my camera right quick so you know who I am and who you're going to be talking to. So basically, this is going to be an incredible lunch for us. And if you are watching the recording, please make sure that you have pen and paper because you're going to have so much fun and so much takeaways in today's training. So let me just start with the presentation here. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about the recruiting strategies for today's world and who I am and why you're gonna be listening to me, right? So let me explain just some information. My name is Candy Wyndon, and I'm the CEO and the founder of KW Coaching Group. And we're gonna be also talking about great things, and this is the agenda. So please make sure that you have your pen and paper and have fun. And actually, if you have any questions, and we're gonna have an opportunity to answer you personal questions. So the best strategies during what are you gonna be learning today? The best strategies during your recruiting process and how to attract different generations to your workforce. Strategies to have an effective onboarding. So you're gonna have these incredible tools today. So make sure that you take note on this. So who am I? So quickly, so the first thing I'm going to tell you that I speak very fast, so you make sure that you listen very careful. And when it's sharing you guys who are watching your recording, make sure that you are in a place where you don't have any interruptions. So who am I? I am married. I've been married for 20 years with Maureen. I have 3 incredible kids. The names of my kids are Alejandro, Calvin, and Natalia. They are actually adults right now, so we don't have any kids in the house. And who am I and where I've been in this incredible journey? So I have been taught over 1,000 leaders globally in South America, international, Canada, Central America, and I had done through webinars, virtual trainings, lunch and learns, and live events and speaking. So this is all I have. And who have you been mentored? Why do you have to listen to me today? So I have been mentored by Damon John, Stormy Wellington, Ty Lopez, Julianne Hood, and also our incredible Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, and Dean Graziosi. And also, one of the things that I love to do is volunteering. That's what I'm doing today, volunteering. And I actually am a business mentor for SCORE, and that's where I represent today. And also, I am a virtual presenter and executive director for the John Maxwell team, and I also a board member for the Suncoast HR here in Pinellas County. I have been received this consulting and training. Also a pro member of NSA. If you don't know about it, it's a National Speakers Association. For sure, the Associated for Human Resources Management. Tony Robbins, I have been crewing so many events, just not here in the United States, but globally. And also I am the committed advisor board member for Kaiser University. So this is where the fun is going to start. Strategies to fill your staffing needs. So the first thing I want you to do is to make sure that if you want to take a screenshot for this, feel free, because this is information. Maybe you are brand new in recruiting, maybe you are very expert in recruiting, but this is actually a process where I'm going to share just the regular and very effective process. But every corporation, every company, they have a different avenue how to do that. So how they started. So this is how it started. They start with approval to recruit. So basically you have an opening, you have an idea of the position that you want to open up. Then you have the approval from your CEO, CFO, or HR. Then you create a job description. We're going to be talking a little bit about job description, not as much. However, one part that I want you to take in consideration is that the most important part that we're going to be focused on this training is the summary of the job description. Job posting. Wow, this we're gonna spend a lot of time talking about the job postings because most of the companies, most of the leaders or CEO, if you are starting your company, if you are growing your company, they get confused with what is a job description and what is a job posting. Sometimes they combine it, sometimes they think they're the same, and I'm going to share with you what is the difference. Screen candidates, and then we go through the interview process, selection, the offer, and actually the happiest moment onboarding this new amazing and incredible talent. So what are we going to start? Approval, the recruiting. When you have the approval, the recruiting is when you receive the compensation, you have the title, you know what are you going to be feeling and what are the expectations for that particular position you're going to be feeling. The next one is the job description. So after you celebrate, you are so rocking it, you're so proud that you got this position approved and you getting ready to actually develop the job description. So the job description has the qualifications, requirements, what we need, the expectations, step by step, and actually it could be from 1 page, 2 pages, and I have seen job descriptions from 3 pages long. So as many information that you want to put in this job description, the best. Why? Because this is the document when you hire somebody, they had to sign so they know exactly what is they are committed to, what are the responsibilities, expectations, objectives, and who is going to be they reporting to. The next one is the job posting. So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the job posting because this is an important moment when you are going to take as much information. So make sure that you have a pen and paper. For those who are watching the recording, remember, this is the key, okay? So we're going to start first about explaining and understanding what it's about, what we have out there, why where everybody's talking about the generation, what generations is important. There are some keys to attract different generations using the below strategies. So I'm going to share with you the strategies for each generation and how you're going to be able to connect with them and attract them to your workplace. So the first one is we're going to be talking about, there are actually 5 generations right now, but are we going to be talking about only these 4 generations that are the most in the workforce today here in the United States. So there are 5% of Generation Z that are born from 2001 to 2020. We have 35% millennials born in 1981 and 2000. So anybody identifying to them, I believe that you probably identify to these millennials. Amazing workforce. 33% is actually the Generation X. That is actually the generation I am from. So born from 1965 to 1980. 25% of baby boomers born from 1946 to 1964. So the next one is here. I wanted you to take very closely note about what Generation Z is important and what you need to do because they are actually entering into the workforce right now. So all those amazing high school students that are about to graduate, they are getting ready to go to prom and getting ready to go for graduation in a couple weeks. They are the ones that you're probably gonna need there in your workforce, right? So there are some keys for that. So the first is that what is shape about it? So they are very a grow culture. They are in social media channels. So they have been growing up with Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. Right now we have Reels and Facebook. These generation doesn't know nothing about LinkedIn. So if you post a position to attract this type of generation and you post the position in LinkedIn, this is not going to work. You have to post those positions on Instagram You have to, maybe you will be able to attract them in Facebook, but they are not in Facebook. They are actually in Instagram. They are actually in Snapchat, and they just connect and ask their counselors in high school or maybe somebody's friend. So the best strategy to attract this talent at the Generation Z is to connect with the colleges in your area, because they are the ones who are going to be able to hand to them, to share with them the open positions that you currently have. And also, when you actually partner with the high school students, so you can transition the high school graduate to the positions that you're looking for. So they are very global, their views are entrepreneurial, they are progressive, less focused, and they are motivated to different things. Every generation has different motivations. And one of the things they are motivated is they like the face-to-face interaction. Why? Most people think that it is because they want to have somebody connecting with them in digital, because they can communicate. They are over communicators. They are excellent communicating. They can communicate with anybody and any place in this planet. They go online, they play games, they talk to strangers. I don't know if you have the experience, you feel like, oh, Jesus. So that's what they do. But they also in the workplace, they're looking for somebody who can give you that personalized experience for that face-to-face. So they want to get to know you, and they want to get to know them. So what do you need to do to actually better communicate with them? So it's through text messages for IMS. So just send him a Snapchat, Instagram message. That is the best way to communicate with this particular generation. They are digital addicts, they're papers, they are all these people, they wanted to work with millennials. They want to work with people or corporations who offer them the innovative and new tech experience. So offer them to work in multiple projects. This is the best way to connect with this generation. So let's go to next to the millennials. Millennials are 35% of the workforce. So you have to keep an eye on this, because most of the job postings that you do right now, they're actually identified, they are so global. You know, we're talking about diversity. We're talking about not being, having any discrimination, right? But if you want to attract these particular millennials, you have to talk in their language. So let me explain a little bit more. They are very competitive. They are civic, open-minded. They are achievement-oriented. So what they shaped by? They are shaped by 9/11, the internet. They are motivated by quality managers. So if you don't have a really good leader and a good manager in your organization, these millennials are not going to stay with you. They are not going to be attracted. And the first thing the millennials do before they join to any organization, even if they wanted to purchase anything online, they watch your reviews. So make sure that you have great testimonials about the people that is working for you, testimonials, reviews about the environment, the culture, because this is a key selection or decision-making for this generation. They want to get to know you. They want you to relate to them. So make sure that you communicate the way that they want to be communicated. They want to use messages, text messages, and also emails. For them, it is okay. So just the one thing that they are very highly motivated is they are seeking for challenge, for growth, development. So make sure that you provide that particular environment to this generation, in particular the 35% of millennials. So the Generation Z X is from 1965 to 1980. They are shaped by AIDS, Berlin Wall. I don't know if you remember that, but if you're not, you probably are not in this type of generation. This generation is motivated by work-life balance. There are 33%. So we still have in the workforce, the most of the employees who's working in this area in the United States is the millennials and Generation X. So if you do and create the job postings, very critical where you can give them the information. And for example, flexibility. You can do a job posting sharing how flexible you are, informal, skeptical. They are very independent. So if you give them this opportunity to be flexible in the workforce, they're looking for work-life balance. They're the ones who doesn't want to work with corporations, who doesn't want to change. So what does this means? What is this meaning for you? For you means that you have to be willing to advance, to adapt very quickly, so you don't gonna be losing this critical talent in your organization or attracting. This is very critical. And also one thing that you wanted to know about how to communicate with them, they don't answer emails. They prefer you to pick up the phone and call them. So if you want to recruit these people, you want to work with the Generation X, you must pick up the phone. You must have the face interaction. This generation are the ones who have been struggling right now, that we're doing a lot of virtually, digital things, because they love face-to-face interaction. They want to, the touch, the interaction, the hugging. They love this area. So if you want to really connect with this generation, you have to pick up the phone and have that face-to-face interaction. They quick move on. So if they don't like something else, if they don't like your organization, they will leave with no hesitation. They don't play around. So I want you to know that if you have resistance to change, this particular generation is also resistant to change. However, you will be able to adapt if you provide them a personal development or flexible arrangements, different type of schedule, how they can start a little bit early, a little bit later during the day, and how they can actually be and improve your workflow in whatever the projects they're working on. So remember, any questions that you may have at the end, I'm going to be answering those questions. So the next one is the baby boomers. The baby boomers, oh my God, they are so optimistic. They are competitive workaholics. So they are the ones who actually work all the time. They may be working for you right now. They may be looking for another job, but they also are engaged in different activities. They are volunteering. They have a hustle side job where they can get some extra money. So because they are competitive, they're always looking for what is next, what is next, what is next. However, they are team oriented. They like to work as a team. So if you offer them an environment where they can work with you in a team environment, where they can increase the collaboration, where they can give the team some little bit more spice, some higher expectation, and how to commit and actually meet the expectations for the project, they are the ones who you will love to have, because they are really, really team oriented. So what is this shape of this particular baby boomers? The baby boomers are civil rights movement. So they are the ones who being shaped by that, and is motivated by the company loyalty, teamwork. They like duty. When you mention duty, they are there. The communication, most of the communication that they want for you to provide is more in phone calls, face-to-face, like Generation X. They have some similarities. However, the difference between the Generation X and the baby boomers are workaholic. They are the ones who are early in the morning until the end of the day and unstoppable. It's incredible. So what you can provide to them? Specific goals. They're motivated when you hire them, you give them the opportunity. So what you can do in the job postings, that's something that I wanted to share with you guys in the next slide. What should you do with all this information? I'm sure you will like, okay, so now I learned about the Generation X, the Z, the baby boomers, the millennials, what I do with this. So diversity is very critical. So you must use words that are related to each generation in the job posting message. Remember I told you that the job posting and the job description, the summary, are the most important part, because there is where you're going to be communicating with them your culture, the way that you do business, because they are the ones who are going to be given, being attracted to you because of that message. It's like just treat like a job posting like an advertisement, because it is an advertisement, just for an advertisement for an employer. So remember, when they are promoting a Coca-Cola. So they're promoting like thirsty, are you thirsty, you tired, it's hot, right? So that's how they related the product, and they give us to buy, for example, that type of beverage. It's the same thing with the job posting. So for example, for millennials, they love working in a given sense of purpose. So if you give them that sense of purpose and important to them during the job posting, they will be attracted to you. Being social. So if you say, for example, the work of our company has authenticity, is transparency, teamwork, everybody love to work with each other, and also show reviews and testimonials, they're going to be attracted to them. So what you can do about it? So for example, you can do for millennials, because remember, video is critical nowadays. So the most thing that they do is they Google you. They were like, okay, who is Candy Windon? Oh, who is KW Coaching Group, right? And they go to Google, they check the reviews, and they don't see any reviews, they maybe not do any business with you. And the next step they will do is they go to YouTube to find out if there is any information. So what you can do about this? So for example, if you are doing a job posting a strategy, right? This is one of the strategies, is that you can do an elevator pitch in YouTube, where it can be maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, where you can show your culture, how the employees feel in your business, how you can attract them, and how amazing and incredible company you are. I know that Google is really good about it. I check their talent acquisition about how they do it. So if you want to do check on how maybe some examples and how you can adapt to job postings, you can actually check that company. Also, Amazon. Amazon is very direct. It's very and very driven, but however, they have an incredible thing about, they have a lot of videos and experience in how to work in Amazon. So that's what you need to do. You need to share how it looks like to work for you. The video format, I told you, you can use YouTube, Vimeo, you can use live in Facebook, you can use a live in LinkedIn, you can use a live in Instagram. So it's up to you. There is free avenues that you can utilize. You don't have to pay anything, and you can actually attract an incredible, amazing talent. So why millennials is so important? Because they are the ones who are actually the leaders right now. So you have to make sure that you communicate with them the way that they want to. They want to be social. They want to check your reviews, your testimonials, and you want, as a company, give them a sense of purpose, a sense of how important it is to work for me. And what about the Generation Z? They look for flexibility. They look for peer coaching and teamwork. Why? Remember, this generation has been grown up with the digital 100%. They don't know anything about playing outside. They don't know anything about Generation X when we play outside basketball or maybe volleyball or anything like that. They don't know anything about it. They only have been playing on games most all the time. So they're looking for that peer coaching, for peer support, for somebody who cares about them, and the environment as a teamwork. They're looking for that. They're looking for mentorship, social awareness, and development. So what you can do about it? So you have to mention those keywords in your summary on the job posting. That's it. That's all you need to do. You just say, hey, we have an incredible culture. It's super flexible. We offer peer coaching. We always collaborate to each other. And the most important value is teamwork. So you have to literally match their values to the values that you have with your organization. That's it. It's matching, because that's how you're going to attract them. Next one is a diversity approach. You said you must ensure that whatever you do, posting your position to the companies, posting the positions in any avenue, you have to look in diversity, because that the most fun part of being in part of an organization is how you're going to be working with each other, how you're going to be working with an amazing, somebody who is completely different, from a different country, from a different language, somebody who has different, ways to think. So diversity is a key, and that actually is going to give you a sense of engagement by having a diverse talent. So how you can do track time and engage. So these are the steps. So the first one is you can post a position in ZipRecruiter. So after you finish the job posting, remember you're gonna change the message and summarize to make sure that the language that you want to attract that just vision the person that you want to be, that you want to have in your team, right? So you post the position in ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is really well run and it's super easy. They can just remember they're looking for one click. The millennials and Generation X, they're looking for one click. So they can just post the resume and that's it. They will go, and this is the first one that they will use. Indeed is really incredible because you can actually search the candidates. You can make them apply through them and apply to your site, and also you can do a job fair in Indeed, and it's you can just something is very comfortable pay. They don't charge that much. Conferences is super important, and when you attend to conferences, always share the culture of the organization. Always talk to people, and it's super critical actually being part of this, because most of the people, when leaders, they go to a leadership conference, they sometimes bring their work in the workforce, in the conference. And the most important thing that you have to do is to be present. Be present in there, connect with the people that is around you, because they could be your next employer, could be your next employee. So you just gotta be, connecting and build those meaningful relationships. So universities and colleges is super important. Just partner with them, because they are the ones who are developing that particular skill set that you're looking for. For example, right now that I'm part of the advisory of Kaiser University, we're looking into that, like what we have at the colleges and what actually the employers need. So through SCORE, we're helping to make sure they match and helping them to attract and have an incredible workforce. So the employers right now have what they need. LinkedIn is very critical for baby boomers on Generation X. However, it's not efficient in Generation Z and the millennials. Millennials are actually starting getting into LinkedIn, but now all the people know about LinkedIn. They are slowly getting in there. Probably the next 3 or 4 years, they are going to be 100% in there. But right now, we don't have, according to LinkedIn, we have about 66% of millennials in LinkedIn. So we have more like 89% of baby boomers in LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is really heavily for the baby boomers. So what you can do about employee referrals? So if you have an incredible company, the best way is to get an employee referral. How are you going to get those? The employee referral is incredible, because Generation Z, actually, they're looking for somebody who can, they ask for reference, and if they can see nothing online, they're going to ask their best friend. So that's how you're going to actually fill those positions and attract and engage. So make sure that whoever is working for you right now, you're providing that sense of culture of appreciation, because that's the key to have and retain those talents. So how you're going to do the outreach, and the outreach and diversity groups, we have a different chapters, depending on what you want to attract. So you, for example, for the engineering, you can join to a chapter for engineers, so you know exactly who they are. Or if you're looking for registered nurses or somebody in the medical field, you have to connect with that particular association and chapters. And diversity groups, meetups, they have meetups that you can look at meetup.com, and also in chapters that you can look depending on the license on the specific expertise that you're looking for. So be very targeting. Don't be like those other companies that they literally just copy and paste job postings and the job description, do the posting with the same job description. It is not a strategic. It is not vision, but you have to have a strategic to attract and engage with these 4 generations. All right, so right now we finished with job posting. So I hope you have a clarity. If you have any questions, right now live, just write those questions. You can write out those questions in the Q&A data. I will be able to answer those questions at the end of the session. And also for those who are watching recording, remember, I'm gonna give you my information. If you have any questions, I can answer your questions after 4. All right. So it's make sure that you stay at the end because I'm gonna share my information. So the screening part is super critical. Screening candidates right now, we have 85% of 230 jobs doesn't exist. Those positions don't exist yet. So it means that we are collaborating very heavily with employers, colleges, universities to see what is the need of tomorrow's workforce. So we heavily looking for it. And since millennials are the major workforce right now, you have to take consideration their skills on what it is needed for them to be successful. So for example, if the company is advancing technology, in tech roles, you have to make sure that you partner with the colleges or university to see if any of those skills are being taught. If it's not being taught, it's about, okay, you as a company, can you provide the training to get the skills? If you do, kudos to you. And if you can't, just please make sure partner with the colleges and university here locally in our community in Pasco here or in any other community that you're watching for or live right now. Employee soft skills. This is funny because they call it a soft skill, but to me, is the most important skill sets that you can have to increase unity and importance of what is happening right now. So EI is an emotional intelligence. And this is most important. This is what I teach a lot to make sure that the employers, the leaders have all the, I would say, the skill sets so they can connect, communicate, and build those meaningful relationships with themselves, with the leaders around them, and with the people that they want to connect. So emotional intelligence is super important, and conflict resolution. So if you have the coaching mindset, this conflict resolution is going to be incredible. So make sure that you gotta look what is the skill sets and trends. So because Generation Z, remember, they had been growing up in a different environment in a household. The moms and dads has been working both together, right? So they have been growing up with just their school, their friends. So what is looking forward? That's what the Generation Z is looking for, peer coaching, because they want the support of how I can communicate with people, how I can resolve this communication. They maybe are not really good public speaking. However, they will learn this in a heartbeat. Leadership skills, you have to look what they need, what they want, what do you want when you're attracting and recruiting these people. Empathy, ethics, etc. Importantly, identify how are you going to screen these candidates. So you have to be able to use any test, because right now you cannot just blindly hire somebody just because you like them, or because their resume looks good, or because they did an awesome interview. You actually have to do some assessment. You can do a personality test. That if you don't have a personality test, I can give you if you send me an email, I can give you the link where you can use a free personality test and this assessment as well. So you have to know what the personality, because you can have, and this is a different subject, please make sure I don't get all over the place, but this is a different subject, but you have to have a really good communication with, depending of their personality. So you have to communicate in different ways. You can have two C's at the end, two people who are very analytical working together, because they're gonna be bumping and have some conflict. So you have to identify who they are, who they want to be, what expectations are, and then you can move forward to the job application questions. So you have to identify which questions do you want to ask to your potential client, to potential, I would say client, because to me, A talent, an employee is a client. You have to trade in as a client with love. So remember, candidates are looking for easy and quick application, but you must use one that is more effective for your company and organization. Make sure that you select very carefully what the skill sets you want for the employee that you're looking for. What skill set, if you're looking more for emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, leadership skills, if you can provide the training or not, you gotta make sure that you partner with your community so they can help you grow. We're here to help you. So make sure that you have any questions, please make sure reach out to SCORE. We have so many avenues and so many, I would say, tools that can help you to get where you need to get. All right, so recruiting process, during this recruiting process, so we get into the interview. Oh my God, so this is so tiring. You are tired, you're ready. Finally, screen all these candidates, you're going through the interview process, and this is where you need to be able to be careful of what you do. So today, the big corporations are using video interview applications. This approach is not effective. I know it's an advanced thing, and we're always looking for what is best, what is good, but this is not the best approach. Why? Because, for example, if you pick up the phone, right? You pick up the phone and you do a video, you fake your smile, you fake who you feel. But if you do a face-to-face interaction, even if it's virtual, you sense their energy, you sense who they are, the authenticity that they can offer, if they are transparent or not. You can feel those things. But through the video, they can fake it. So it is not affected, and that's something that Harvard Business Review shares. So if you want to take a screenshot and visit that particular post from the business for the Harvard Business Review, that will be great for you, so you can review it and have some clarity of what exactly you need to do in today's workforce, and also for the strategies in recruiting. What is the best approach? So millennials and Generation Z grow up in a tech and hard in their hands. So you have to make sure that you communicate where they most spend time. So if they spend time on the phone, text them. They will reply right away. Maybe you call them, they will be like, who is this? But if you text them, the job description, the job opportunity, they will be able to do that. So baby boomers and Generation X didn't grow up with tech. So to be able to approach and have the best opportunity for the interview with them, remember they didn't grow up with technology, so make sure that you are very careful of what your expectations are, unless they are very expert in tech, or maybe they went to tech school, or they are the genius, they can do everything right. But if they don't, you make sure that when you communicate with them, it's in a specific way and how you wanted to connect with them. This assessment actually is going to give you how to communicate with them, what triggers are, what do they want, where they want to go, because actually give you an opportunity for you to communicate better with them and them communicate with you. So make sure that you have a clear communication. That is so critical. That's where the worst are happening right now. It's probably a lack of communication. The conflict out your workplace is a lack of communication, because everybody, most of the time, they focus on assume things. So make sure that you ask always a question and write it down, because this is the key. Is this a fact, or is this something that I think it should be, or they are doing? So if it's a fact, then you're good to go. That is the clear answer for you. But if it's not a fact, it's the opposite. It means that you need to clear your communication and ask them what is happening, what is going on. So during the interview process, make sure that you communicate with them the expectations of the job, what are they going to be doing, and trust me, you have to be honest, because if you're not honest during this interview process, when you hire them, they're going to leave. Especially with the Generation X and millennials, they will be like, I'm out of here. And they are the 75% of the population. So be careful. During the interview process, it is important to be human. And this is super important. I cannot say this. We always enforce to be human. Have different team members to interview the candidates. This will increase the better hiring decision. Have your manager, your leader, team lead, colleague, co-worker, even the receptionist. Why not? They can interview this person too, because they wanted to know if they can work with them, if it's any connection. If you sense any disconnection, please do not bring this person in the workforce unless you need to train your talent right now. So make sure that the leader, the manager, team members, and collaborators are part of this process. Use the same questions during the interview. Oh my God, I have seen it. I have worked in so many companies. I have worked for GE, Nielsen, bigger companies. And sometimes those processes, it get lost. So make sure that when you're starting, if you are brand new recruiting, and if you are a very expert in recruiting, you don't get lost during the process, that the process and the questions are the same for every single candidate. And document. You have to save that information because you never know. So if you want to look for more information and guidelines, just go to dol.gov because they have a really, really good tools that you can utilize right now. Awesome. So now selection. Oh, Jesus. You feel, oh my God, I'm tired already with the recruiting process. It is a long process. In selection, you probably have the top 3 candidates and you feel like, okay, so what's going on? So during the selection, please consider this because it's so important. The lost productivity of non-engaged and actively disengaged employees is equal to 18% of their annual salary. So who a bad decision, it costs you 18% of your annual salary. For a company of 10,000 employees with an average salary of 50K, the disengagement costs you $60 million a year. So if you that selection is so important because when you make that selection, that is gonna cost you a lot of money and it's gonna cost you money or save money, either or. Replace workers requires 1.5 to 2 times the employee's annual salary. So it costs $9,000 a year to keep a disengaged worker and between $25,000 and $10,000 to replace them. So it costs you a lot of money. Sometimes people, I can see some of my clients, they rather keep the employee that is disengaged, but that costs you in the long run a lot of money. So you have to make sure that whatever the decision you make is the best for your company and for the person that is you are bringing on board. Right job to the right talent. Yes, it is time to celebrate. Finally, you're about to make an offer, right? Yes, you had selected a great candidate, but this is the strategy. You always have a plan B and a plan C. You're gonna have the top talent person that you wanna hire, right? The one that you wanna make an offer, but also if that person say no, you're gonna have a backup. Is this other person will be able to fit in my company? Is that person is gonna be able to receive and be able to do this incredible job for my organization? So the question is this candidate aligned with your organization? Before you make an offer, you got to answer this question. Is this great candidate aligned with my organization? What does this mean? It is aligned to my values, to my purpose, to my mission, to my vision, to my expectations. Because nowadays, if you lose a lot of talent and if you cannot retain them and you can attract them, it means that they are not aligned with the organization. If their values are not aligned with your organization, you have to evaluate, are my values are being great and strong and aligned to what I wanted to bring in my work, or this person has completely a disalignment? Because some people, some employees has great values and the employers are not having great values. So they were like, oh my God, I cannot attract nobody, I cannot hire anybody, it's being so hard, it's so difficult, people are asking for so much money. But trust me, it's not about money. All the back end of the decision is about how you make them feel. And if you make them feel great, value, that they can do an amazing job, that position is give them an opportunity to grow, to have an stability, to be to the next level. You picture them where they're gonna be from 3, 5, 10 years from now. This is a great candidate, and they are gonna be so excited to be with you. But you must be able to make sure to review your organization so you have the right talent for and the right values. Oh my God, yes. You must engage your employees so they stay with you through thick and thin. So basically, you have to be able to always asking the question, right? So when you have now the selection, right, you feel like, yes, I select somebody, this is good to go. Now I'm gonna make an offer. Time to make an offer. So before you make an offer, always this is the 5-second rule. You must use the same message that you use during the job posting, because that is what they get attracted to. Use the same message. Ask them if they saw the testimonial, the reviews about your company, and if they have any questions about that, if it's anything that they want to be clarified. Talk to them about growth, core values, beliefs, purpose, work-life balance, flexibility, all those incredible things that they are being attracted. Remember, the millennials are looking for managers, so you have to talk about the great leadership skills that they have. They're looking for, and the Generation Z, they're looking for flexibility, for more projects. So mention how many projects they're gonna be getting involved. And then, for example, for Generation X, they're looking for a work-life balance. They're looking for a better arrangement. Remember, mention the new and the possibility to have different schedules for that particular job. Talk to them about that, because it's important. And if this is your first hire, be you. Be you, because the only want to connect right now, the best marketing tool that we have in this today's world is transparency, because they will find out if you hide something. So make sure that transparency is the number one value that you have in your organization, because they will be attracting to that. And authenticity, they want you to be you, So if you want to offer this position for the particular candidate and you feel excited, remember, just be you. Don't be like, oh, okay, let me hire this and see what is going to happen. That just put a negativity through the statement of, let's hire this person, but remember, anything that happens after the sentence but, just the other part, it doesn't belong. So it doesn't care. It's like psychologically, it's not a way that we wanted to get engaged, right? So make sure that you don't use but, that you are very certain that you feel it, that you had the sense of the person that is going to be an amazing for your team, and they will do what you wanted to do. All right, so right now the recruiting process, we go into the onboarding, you're getting ready, the offer. So yes, strategies to have an effective onboarding. So if that person say yes, that then you're getting ready for all the papers. Oh my God, that's why these HR folks, they get so much money, because it's a lot of process just to hire somebody. So if you are a brand new employee, remember this webinar is gonna be one of the best key for you, unless anything happen or anything changes with the generations. So what are you gonna do about today? So now that you have to hire, what do? First, you have to believe abundantly. When you have this person in the workforce, how you're gonna be able to onboarding and retain them. Your leadership skills is the ones that are gonna be able to make sure that they stay with you. So your leadership skills has to be completely up to the top. And what do you need to do? Believe abundantly, appreciate consistently. This is one of the keys that I teach all the time, the culture of appreciation, because that is where everybody, we just did like a poll in LinkedIn, and there was 92% answered that appreciation instead money is even better. So be careful with that. Develop intentionality. So intention, what is the intention with this employee? What I want them to be tomorrow, the next year, 2 years. So always develop intentional, right? So it's super critical. And listen actively. I was in a conference yesterday, and they were talking about that they have like a listen and lunch. How cool is that? So you can have lunch with your manager, with your leader. Well, the leader is going to be listening to what's happening, what's going on. So listen constantly, actively. Don't, the best leader, keep your mouth in silence and listen carefully what the team and the other parts of the employees are looking. And love repeatedly. Honestly, love is one of the things that you're gonna be able to match it up and also have an incredible team. So if you do these 5 keys in your leadership, you're gonna be amazing. So the 2 things that you need to be to success is genuine and authentic relationships with your employees. A proven system for converting those relationships into emerging leaders, because you want to develop a leader, develop other leaders. So emerging leaders in your organization, that's what they're looking for. And remember, the Generation Z and millennials, they want to look what is next in their career. Meaningful conversations. So always have meaningful conversation, communicating, and I won't be able to get tired of saying communication is the key. Remember, the hiring process has changed. Nothing that happens in 12 months, 24 months is the same as today. So our effective culture will be able to attract engaged employees. So you make sure that you have those 2 keys: effective culture. What is my culture? Are my employees engaged? Because those 2 keys are going to be able for you to attract all those 4 generations. Remember, we have 4 generations: the Z, X, millennials, and baby boomers. What are you going to do? Using the job posting summary strategies and having those 2 keys that I've shown you for you right now. So Pasco Hernando Score is an amazing corporation, and we offer free confidential small business mentoring. So if you are needed in guidelines, we have volunteers that are ready to assist you in confronting your business challenges. We offer individuals confidential mentoring. Real world experts will help you identify, prioritize the actions necessary to you to succeed and grow your business. Free small business webinar, the one that we use. And so please make sure, follow us, communicate with us. If you need a mentor, don't hesitate, click and ask for help. That is the best thing to do when you're a leader, just asking for help. Don't be in a private moment, just connect with us. We would love to have you. And other thing, we have some questions. But before I wanted to ask some questions, I want to share a poll about this particular training. So please answer if, according to the strategies you received today, those are valuable for you. Absolutely need more training. So please answer it now. All right. Awesome. So anybody else? You still have time? All right. Awesome. So they said, and absolutely. Okay. So this is the results, and that is really awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. So now we have some few minutes to answer any questions. So if you want to raise your hands or maybe send me a message and a Q&A, I will be able to answer any questions. I'm looking for the questions right now. So I'm waiting for the questions. And if you don't have no questions, okay. All right. So here they come out with 1 question. What do we do about, what is the difference between the video? Okay. So what is the difference between the interview through video and a live video? So basically, the video programming that we currently have is that most organizations, especially big corporations, they use, and it's to save time because they have so many people that are applying, but they want to give short in a process. So what they do is they send a link so they can do a video, and then they review the video, and they have this application of software that it will identify who is a good candidate and who is not. So that's when I share with you guys that being human is the best key to actually attract and retain talent, because people want to have that touch, personality, and an interaction with you. So that is different. So if you want to do, like, for example, we're doing right now, even though that is virtual, it's still a face-to-face interaction. Instead, just video is not a face, because it's not in the same time, it's in a different time. I hope that answered the question. All right. Okay. Okay, yeah, it sounds like no more questions. So we're going to the next. So just remember, if you have any further questions, this is, you can send me an email to support@candywindon.com, or you can just share, look at me and score. We are on a volunteer as well, so I will be able to answer any questions through that. And if you have any other questions, you can just go to the KW Coaching Group call.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you do what you always done, you always get what you always gotten. So if you want to improve your talent and you want to attract the best and incredible talent, you have to make sure that you do things different. So the most important key is to connect, collaborate, be a member, be awesome, and that's all you need to do. Thank you for your time. Have an amazing day. Have a blessed day. Thank you for the questions, and remember to connect with me if you have any further questions. All right, have a good day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.